Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Urban Update. I'm Byron Barnett. On the show this morning, the era of the millennials, those born between 1980 and 2000, often referred to as the next great generation. We'll meet 4 of them today. Also on the show, information on the 20th anniversary Red Ribbon Gala of the Greater Boston Sickle Cell Disease Association, which has been so instrumental in advocating for individuals living with the disease. But up first, a public community forum on intersectionality. Intersectionality is the term used to describe the overlapping or intersecting social identities that can include race, religion, class, gender, and sexual orientation that can be used as the basis for many forms of systematic oppression or discrimination. Next Tuesday, March 22nd, Boston Pride, Black Pride, and Latin Pride will host a community forum with a focus on the challenges of trans people of color must deal with on a daily basis. The forum will feature a panel discussion moderated by Cambridge Mayor Denise Simmons. And to bring us up to speed on the topic and the upcoming event, we've invited Boston Pride President Sylvain Bruni and Boston Pride Board Member Charlene Charles. Welcome to Urban Update. Thank you both for coming in. Sylvain, let's start with you by bringing everyone up to speed. Sort of tell us a little bit more about Boston Pride and what the organization does.
Good morning, Byron, and thank you for having us. So Boston Pride is a nonprofit and all-volunteer-run organization, and we are always looking for new volunteers. And we are the producers of the annual Gay Pride celebration, so including our parade, our festival, and a variety of other LGBT events, such as our human rights forums, some youth dances, and our Black and Latino Pride programming.
Okay. Now, Charlene, talk to me about why you think this is so important, this work is so important in Boston.
Well, first of all, good morning, Byron. Thank you for having us.
Good
yes.
morning.
So, as you know, Byron, Boston is a melting pot, and we are a very culturally diverse community, and even more so diverse within our LGBT community. And this forum is even more important because just last year alone, we had in the U.S. alone, we had 30 trans women of color murdered, and in 2016 so far, we've had 4 women of color, trans women of color murdered. So it's extremely important for us to bring this forum together and talk about these issues and challenges that combine intersectionality and especially those trans women of color and people of color face.
Okay, now Sylvain, talk to me about how and why you decided to host this particular upcoming community forum.
So for us, it is important to create spaces where the community can express itself and discuss those challenges. So we see the forum as a platform where organizations and individuals within the LGBT community can come and speak on those topics and discuss those challenges and explain basically how we as a community can work together to solve those challenges and fill in the gaps so that those kinds of murders are talked about, but also we change the minds and heart and soul of folks around the country on those specific issues.
Charlene, is something you're trying to, you also hope it encourages more and more dialogue and understanding?
Most definitely. This conversation is just going to be the start. We're hoping that this would be the catalyst to spark continued conversation within our community and have people talking and actually talking about the issues that are happening and bring it to the organizations.
Sylvain, how do you explain what intersectionality is?
Well, I think the definition you gave earlier was spot on. It is this overlapping on various identities that may exist for individuals in our community, and thereby the various kinds of discriminations that people can face. A woman of color, for example, can be discriminated against based on her gender, on her age, on her sexual orientation, on a variety of other kinds of identities, including race and ethnicity. And these intersections show that we are one community. We all face discrimination, and a discrimination against one person for one reason is a discrimination against everyone. And so we have to work together to address those specific challenges, especially when they intersect.
Charlene, what about the panel and the MC of the event? Talk to me about that a little bit.
So first of all, we are very proud to have Mayor Denise Simmons be our MC and moderator for this event. She is a pillar in our community, very well respected, and also a role model for the community and the LGBT community of color. And in determining who we would select for the panel, it was very important that we select a very diverse panel of people and people who are and identify as trans.
Okay, now you mentioned before you were talking about the murders of different murders from transgender people. Is that one of the topics that that you're going to discuss or that you expect to be talked about?
Most definitely. I'm certain that topic would be discussed, and we would most likely touch on it and see how our community has been affected. But what we've done is we've put it out for our community to submit questions for the panel for discussion, and we too will come up with a few questions to sort of guide the conversation if people haven't submitted enough questions to us. But it's definitely something that will be discussed. It's been something that Boston has rallied for in the past year, so it will definitely be something.
Now, Sylvain, is this an event that, in your view, really helps people who may think they're alone be able to know that they're not?
Absolutely, absolutely. We see we understand our role as a pride organization as creating those safe spaces where these kinds of conversations can occur and where people in the community can see that they're not alone when they face discrimination. They have a community and organizations that are there to support them and things that we need to address together. So just like the Pride Parade or the Pride Festival is oftentimes for a person who comes out, it's the first time that they see that there are other people like them and there is a community to support them. This kind of forum is a way to show that we are supporting trans women of color and trans people of color who face those multiple kinds of discriminations on a daily basis.
Do either of you have a sense of, I guess, how trans people of color are treated here in Boston as compared to other cities? Do you feel we're making any progress at all? I mean, what is your sense? I'm just wondering.
Well, I will say that Boston is very lucky to have a number of organizations that are supporting the trans community, the communities of color, and that as within the LGBT community even, we do have multiple organizations that look at those issues, that work very closely with the various kinds of stakeholders within the city, working with the mayor's office, working with the Boston Police Department, with the fire department and others to address those kinds of concerns that would exist. And I think Pride is a good way as a catalyst for bringing everyone together.
Okay, Charlene, let's remind everyone of how they can get more information about the event.
So our events are on all social media platforms as well as on the bostonpride.org website, and we can be found and
We've got a graphic right up there. Saying it says everything right there.
Yes, so March 22nd, the panel would be panels will be there at the community forum at the Blackstone Community Center at 6:30 p.m. And
information right there on the website there. Okay, well, I think that should do it. It sounds like you're going to have a great panel and a great discussion, and hopefully a very helpful discussion for a lot of people. Charlene Charles and Sylvain Bruni, thanks for coming in, and good luck with the event.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Well, coming up next, the era of the millennials. We'll meet 4 members of that next great generation right here on